Now that the slicers are in place, I'm moving on to creating the KPIs. These KPIs gives users quick insight without having to dig into charts or tables. So I'll be starting with the total items KPI. This KPI counts the total number of products in the data set, right? So I position this KPI at the top left of the dashboard so that it can be visible. Now, this KPI is dynamic, meaning it updates automatically whenever I apply slicers like product name, actual price, or discount percentage, showing the total items within selected filters. Right now, I'm formatting my KPI, ensuring that my text is boldly written and also everything is visible, right? And also, I decided to use a white background for my KPI. One thing I love about KPIs is that it helps to summarize the most important insights on the dashboard at a glance. And next, I'm going to create the total rating count KPI. This KPI aggregates the total number of ratings across all the products, helping us to understand customer engagement. Okay. Once the measure is added to a card visual, I formatted it consistently with the other KPIs, thereby using the same format like the font size, rounded card edges, and spacing to maintain the visual consistency across the dashboard. Now I'm going to increase the font size, then I'm going to also align it to the middle. Yes, then I'm going to adjust it. Okay, so I'm going to create another visual card, which is the total discount value KPI. And this is one of the most important metrics on this dashboard. Instead of using the discounted price directly, I calculated the discount value by multiplying the actual price by the discounted percentage. I used the SumX so Power BI can evaluate the calculation row by row, then adds everything together. This approach ensures the discount calculation stays accurate, especially when slicers are applied. For formatting, I displayed the values in millions for readability, increased the font size, and kept the labels simple. This KPI quickly communicates how much value customers are saving through discounts. Next is the average discount percentage KPI. This KPI helps us to understand the general discount trend across products rather than focusing on individual items. I formatted this card by limiting decimal places to avoid cluster and ensure clarity. The idea here is simplicity. One glance should tell the story. Same process with other formatting step. I increased the font size, made my title bold, and don't forget, I'm still maintaining white as my background color. You can choose to use any color you feel is appropriate for your KPI dashboard. I prefer using white. Ensure that it's well fitted. Then I also aligned it properly, aligned it in the middle, adjusted everything, then dragged it to the top. Okay, so I'm trying to make adjustments to the KPIs to ensure that they have equal shape, right? So that it's going to look presentable. Please don't forget to click on the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed to my channel. Thank you. Next, I'll be creating the average rating KPI. This gives a quick overview of how customers generally perceive the products. Yes, I'm going to also maintain the same formatting I used for the previous KPIs, using the same. fonts and also increasing my font size, making the text, the title bold enough for visibility. Then I'm going to use the same round edge, align my title to the middle, then adjust my card. Okay. And the last KPI I'll be creating is the average discounted price KPI. This shows the average price customers actually pay after discounts are applied, which is a good thing, right? Here I formatted the value in thousands and kept the styling consistent with the other KPIs as usual. Consistency in KPI designs helps the dashboard feel professional and easy to navigate. And that is why I'll be using the same formatting style. I'm going to also maintain the same background color, the same fonts, the same font size, right? Then I'm going to also align my title to the middle. So basically that's it. Then I'm going to adjust the size of my card, then take it over to the top, then make little adjustments, ensure that everything is fitted properly. Now I'm moving to the first visual, the rating distribution chart. This chart shows how products are distributed across different rating values. So I used a column chart because it clearly shows frequency, and I formatted the chart by adjusting colors, increasing label readability, and removing unnecessary grid lines to keep it focused on the data. So the next visual I'm going to be creating is the top 10 rated products visual. This chart highlights the products with the highest average rating, right? So I sorted the values in descending order so that the best performing product appears at the top. I also adjusted bar colors and I added data labels for clarity. And next is the top 10 products by rating count. Here I created the top 10 products by rating count. This visual shows which products have the most customer engagement. I ensured the axis label are readable and I formatted the values in millions to keep the charts clean. This visual I'm about to create now is the actual price versus discounted price. It helps us to see how much price reduction customers are benefiting, right? For the sentiment score analysis, I used a donut chart to summarize sentiment score. This chart shows the proportion of positive, neutral, and negative sentiments. Across all visuals, I maintained a consistent color, font, and spacing. I updated their titles, removed unnecessary borders, and ensured alignment with the overall dashboard theme. At this point, I'll be focusing on the overall formatting of the chart to make the dashboard clean, readable, and visually appealing. Formatting plays a big role in how users understand your data. So I'm being intentional with every adjustment. I started by improving the text across all visuals. The chart's titles are made slightly larger and bold, right? So that they can clearly communicate what each visual represents. This makes the user quickly understand the purpose of every chart without having to think too much, right? And for the axis labels, I adjusted the font size to maintain clarity while keeping the layout balanced. And my goal here is to make sure the text is easy to read without overwhelming the visual itself. I also paid attention to text alignment. Proper alignment ensures that the chart looks organized and professional, especially when multiple visuals are placed close to each other on the dashboard, right? I also paid a very close attention to the background color of the charts because it plays a big role in how the dashboard feels. The background color helps separate each visuals while still keeping everything visually connected. This makes the charts easy to read and prevents the dashboard from looking too busy. The same background color is applied consistently across all visuals. This consistency creates a clean layout and makes the dashboard feels more structured and professional. Using the right background color improves readability, supports the design team, and gives the dashboard a polished look. Another thing you should take note of is bolding. Bolding is used selectively. Important elements like titles and key labels are emphasized, while supporting text is kept lighter to avoid visual clutter. Consistency is very important at this stage. I made sure that the same font style, font size range, and text formatting are applied across all visuals. This creates a unified look and makes the dashboard feel well structured, right? Then another thing you should take notes that I did was that I also reviewed how the formatting looks when slicers are applied. The text remains clear and nothing overlaps or becomes difficult to read when the data changes. This formatting adjustment helps improve readability, guides the user's attention, and gives the dashboard a polished and professional finish. At this stage, I'm focusing on how colors are used across the charts. And one key decision I made was to use the same color consistently across all visuals. Using a single consent color helps the dashboard feel clean, unified, and professional. Instead of distracting the viewers with multiple colors, the focus stays on the data and the insights. By applying the same color to similar chart elements, users don't have to relearn what each color represents as they move from one visual to the other. This makes the dashboard easier to understand, especially for first-time users. I also made sure the chosen color has enough contrast against the chart's background and text. This ensures that the data remains clear and readable, which is very important. Even when slicer are applied or filters that changes the visuals. Consistency in colors also improves comparison. When all charts use the same color, difference in values becomes easier to spot because the user's attention is drawn to the height, length, or size of the visual element rather than colors variation. Using a single color theme across all the charts creates a calm visual experience, strengthens the dashboard design, and keeps the focus exactly where it should be. I'm going to improve my presentation of the KPIs by adding a shape behind them. This helps separate the KPI from the rest of the dashboard and makes them stand out more clearly. I started by inserting a shape and positioning it directly behind the KPI card. The shape acts as a background container, grouping the KPIs together and giving the top section of the dashboard more structure. I adjusted the size of the shape so that it fits neatly around the KPI without covering them. To achieve this, I controlled the visual order, sending the shape to the back and bringing the KPIs to the front. I also paid close attention to contrast between the shape and the KPI text. The background color of the shape is white, allowing the KPI numbers and labels to stand out clearly. After that, I then fine-tuned the spacing between the KPIs and the edges of the shape. This padding helps prevent the layout from feeling crowded and keeps everything visually balanced. The KPIs remain visible, clear and well positioned on top of the shape, reinforcing the dashboard hierarchy. Adding a shape behind the KPIs is a simple design technique, but it significantly improves clarity and the overall professionalism of the dashboard. After adding the shape behind the KPIs, I fine-tuned the positioning of each KPI to ensure they sit neatly on top of the shape. This step is important for both readability and overall visual balance. I adjusted the shape and spacing of the KPIs so that they are evenly distributed across the shape, which is also very, very important, please. Each KPI has enough breathing room, making the values easy to read without feeling crowded. I also made sure the KPIs are properly aligned horizontally and vertically. Consistent alignment helps the dashboard look clean and professionally designed. Alright. Once everything is positioned correctly, the KPI sits on the shape, creating a clear focal point at the top of the dashboard. To introduce the dashboard, I added a text box and used it to input the dashboard title. The title immediately tells the viewers what the dashboard is about and sets the context for the insights below. I positioned the title above the KPI section so that it's the first thing users will see when they open the report. I formatted the text by increasing the font size, making it bold to keep it professional and easy to read. By placing the title above the KPIs, the dashboard feels well structured and intentional, guiding users smoothly into the data. I will be adding one more chart to this dashboard, which is the total rating count by product name. If you're watching and you have not yet subscribed, please like and subscribe. Thank you. This chart helps highlight which product receives the most customer engagement, making it easier to identify popular and widely reviewed products. For this visual, I kept the design consistent with the rest of the dashboard. I applied the same chart background color used across all visuals, ensuring a clean and unified look. I also used the same chart color for the bars, maintaining visual consistency. Using a single color across all charts helps users focus on the comparison between products rather than being distracted by colors changes, which I have stated before. Text formatting is handled carefully as well. I increased the font size for the chart title and made it bold so that the purpose of the chart is immediately clear. Axis labels and values are formatted to remain readable without overcrowding the visuals. I paid close attention to alignment also and spacing. The chart is resized and positioned so that it fits within the layout. Align neatly with surrounding visuals. This helps the dashboard feel well structured and balanced. With consistent formatting, color usage, and proper alignment, this chart fits seamlessly into the overall dashboard design. To better understand how ratings are spread across products, I created a rating bin using the group function. Instead of showing individual rating values, grouping allows me to organize ratings into meaningful ranges. By creating rating bins, the data becomes easy to interpret. I use this grouped rating field directly in the rating distribution chart. This helps transform raw rating data into a clear visual summary that shows overall customer sentiment at a glance. Using bins also improves the readability of the chart. The x-axis becomes cleaner. Creating a rating bin simplifies analysis. It improves clarity and makes the rating distribution charts more informative for decision making. Finally, one of the key strengths of this dashboard is how responsive the slicers are. Whenever a slicer is adjusted, all the KPIs and charts update instantly, reflecting only the filtered data. This interactivity allows users to explore different products, price ranges, ratings, or sentiment scores without manually recalculating anything. The combination of a responsive slicer, well-structured KPIs, and clean, consistent visuals ensures that every selection provides accurate, meaningful insights in real time. This makes the dashboard dynamic and easy to use.